Today we're looking at this fully powered drum handler. This unit has power drive using this tiller at the rear. The head is powered clamping, so the arms come together using hydraulics. The drum is lifted with a hydraulic ram and tipped using hydraulics as well. So it's a fully powered machine, ideally suited for customers handling lots and lots of drums per day, where the time taken to lift the drum, handle the drum and tip it, if they can reduce that time, then they're going to save money and save overall. So to use the machine, we pull the tiller back, drive towards the drum. We've got an open top 205 litre steel drum here. The drive system, I'll move very slowly then to move forward, but to demonstrate the speed's very fast if you want it. So if you want to travel a long distance, we've got that power here available. So I'm going to creep in nice and slowly and line the pads up with the centre of the drum. So now we're centred, we press the clamp button on the rear panel. What we're watching for on the rear panel, we have a clamp pressure gauge, and this is telling us how much force is being applied to the drum. Once we're in the green segment, we're safe to lift the drum, so we press lift. We've got a lift control here and also on the tiller at the back. We then drive forwards using our controls. Nice and steady, just so we approach the container. And then to rotate again, we're using controls on the rear panel. Moving the unit forward slightly. Moving forward slightly again. This machine can handle a wide range of drum sizes. So if you've got drums which are 50 litres all the way up to 220, the clamping range can handle all of them. It'll also handle steel drums, steel, plastic and fibreboard. So we're going to return now. Bring the unit backwards. Bring the drum to a vertical and lower down. If needed, this machine can be fitted with a weighing system to weigh the drum and its contents. And for other models, we can offer ATEX for flammable areas or stainless steel units for food and pharmaceutical areas. With the drum lowered, to unclamp, we use two fingers. We press both unclamp buttons at the same time. And once the pressure reaches zero, we can pull the tiller down and move the unit away. Ready to go and get another drum. So we're going to approach this Mauser drum, moving the unit forward with our power drive system. It's important that the clamping pads are in the centre of the drum, so we're about centred there. We then press the clamp button on the rear panel. We have a green segment to show when we have enough clamp pressure, but when you get more flexible drums, it's important not to over clamp them because you don't want to deform them too much. So we're going to clamp a little bit more. We're then going to lift up. Now at height, we're going to drive the unit forwards. And once we get very close to a vessel, about there, we'll tip the unit forward. Sometimes it's necessary to drive forward a little bit, just to make sure all the contents go inside the vessel. We've got plenty of control on the rotation, so we can gradually pour if needed. So our 220 litre Mauser is now empty. We return to the vertical. Going to move the unit back. We can then lower down. We can lower from the rear panel here or from our tiller at the rear. So we've got lift and lower controls on the rear here, so dual controls depending on where we're standing. And then to unclamp, 2 hands pressing the unclamp buttons. Once we're fully unclamped, we see on the gauge we've got 0 on the clamp pressure gauge. We're now looking at the rear of the unit. To switch the machine on, we take the power key and switch to the on position. We know the unit's on because the gauge lights up. To operate the unit, we have a tiller at the rear. When we let go, this tiller returns to the vertical. When we pull down, the unit is in its operational range. We have butterfly controls on the left and right, and we use our thumbs to push the unit forwards or backwards, so this is a fully powered unit. In the centre we have a horn. We press this to alert pedestrians. Here on the left we have a lift and lower button, so we press lift or we press lower. On the rear we have a safety switch, and this is a requirement to ensure that you cannot get trapped behind the unit. If this is pressed against your body, the unit will drive in the opposite direction. When we're handling drums, we have our controls here. We have again lift and lower, which lifts and lowers the head, lifting up and lowering. We have our tip controls, tipping forwards and returning. And here we have our clamp buttons. The centre button is for clamping, so we only need 1 finger to clamp the drum. As we clamp, you'll see the pressure gauge in the centre climbing to the green segment. You can see this here. So it's important that we clamp drums in the green segment, and this is where we have adequate clamp pressure. When we want to unclamp the drums, we must press the clamp button here on the left and here on the right with 2 fingers. This is a safety function to ensure the drum is not unclamped unnecessarily. We have an E-stop, which is an emergency stop button in the centre. To cut all power to the unit, we press this down. You can see the battery gauge has gone out. To reset it, we lift it up. To charge the unit, we have a charging port on the right-hand side of the control box. The charger is built into the machine.